This kid asked for a simple fade, but this ninja barber thought he was starring in an action movie. The ninja barber started swinging those giant scissors like they were swords, moving so fast you couldn't even see the blades. You'd expect the kid would end up butchered, but somehow the ninja barber delivered a fade so sharp it could cut glass. This little man walked into the shop with a simple request. The little man had been growing out his curly hair specifically for the summer and just wanted a little trim. The little man explained to the barber to keep the top long and just clean up the edges. But this barber, seeing the kid's pristine curls, decided today was the perfect day to play a dangerous game. The barber nodded and smiled but was already planning a prank that would go horribly wrong. The barber wasn't thinking about a simple trim, the barber was thinking about chaos. The barber grabbed the clippers, pretended to line them up, and then buzzed a fat strip right down the middle, holding up the cut hair as proof. The little man went into total shock, yelling, "Stop! What are you doing?" The little man explained that his mother would beat him senseless and that he wasn't allowed to have short hair. The barber just tried to play it cool, saying a buzz cut was the plan all along. But the little man got more desperate, begging the barber to glue the hair back on. The barber laughed, even joking about sending the little man to Turkey for a hair transplant, not realizing how much fuel the barber was adding to the fire. The little man reached his absolute limit. In a flash of pure rage, the little man snatched the clippers from the barber's hand. Before anyone could even process what was happening, the little man slammed the expensive machine onto the floor, shattering it into pieces. Suddenly, the joke wasn't funny anymore. The barber was furious, screaming that the clippers cost 300 euros and that the little man wasn't going anywhere. The barber demanded the little man call his parents to pay up, but the little man just stood his ground. The prank was over, and now the barber... So this client rolls in with 15 years of history on her head, ready for a whole new chapter. When the barber held up those locks, damn, they were longer than her whole arm. There was no hesitation. She went straight for the scissors and made that first cut. The client's face was pure shock and excitement, watching a decade and a half of hair fall away. After the big chop, the barber got right to work, laying down some mousse to see what kind of wave pattern they were working with. Now, the first wave check was a starting point, but this barber knew the real magic was in the cut. She started fading that taper, cleaning up the canvas to build a masterpiece from scratch. She laid the client back, lathered her up, and brought out that steaming hot towel for the full experience. The steam was rolling, the client was feeling it, and the whole vibe in the shop got serious. But what happened next will shock you. The barber went into a whole ass other gear. She hit the lineup with some freezing spray to get every single hair locked in place. The precision on this C-cup was insane, carving out a whole new look. After adding that sharp enhancement sauce, she finished it off with a straight razor, making sure the lines were so crispy they could cut glass. From 15 years of locks to one of the cleanest waves and fades you've ever seen. God damn, that's how a legend gets it done. So this swamp-ass barber said to hell with a normal shop and took his client to a whole-ass riverbank. The barber grabbed some burnt-up charcoal and some random goddamn berries he found growing on a weed. He starts crushing all this shit together, mixing it up into some kind of prehistoric face mask. What in the damn hell is this man doing? Then he just starts smearing this lumpy, gritty paste all over the poor dude's face, looking like a whole-ass mud pie. The man looks like he's regretting every decision that led him to this moment, but what happened next will shock you. The swamp-ass barber keeps rubbing the damn mess in, then just washes all that bullshit off with murky water from a bottle. He's rinsing the man's whole head, face, and soul right there on the grimy shore, and goddammit, after all that insanity, he wipes the man down and the haircut is unbelievably clean and sharp. That's one hell of a way to get a fresh cut. So this dude walks in with a whole-ass afro that's blocking out the damn sun. This shit is a goddamn masterpiece of chaos, a whole ecosystem on top of his head. The barber gets straight to it, blow-drying the mess until it's standing at full attention looking like a damn mushroom cloud. The barber starts hacking away, carving a shape out of this absolute unit of hair. He's fading the neck, cleaning up the sides, and you can see a clean-ass haircut trying to escape from that jungle. He's moving with some serious confidence because one wrong move and this whole damn thing is a disaster. He grabs the razor for the final touch. But what happened next will shock you. The barber lays down the sharpest damn lineup you've ever seen, a straight razor making that hairline crisp as hell. He finishes with the scissors, trimming every last stray hair until the shape is absolute perfection. He took that goddamn mess and turned it into one of the cleanest, sharpest cuts imaginable. What a legend! This bald-headed fella walked into the shop wanting to get rid of his luscious locks. Little did this bald-headed fella know this pretty boy barber was about to perform open-head surgery. The barber started by carving a perfect half moon into the fella's skull, not caring if the fella ever grew hair there again. The pretty boy barber then grabbed a series of increasingly dangerous tools, blending the hair so flawlessly that it left the bald-headed fella with a fade that looked like a permanent shadow, leaving the fella completely speechless. When this client sat down, he just wanted a haircut, but this barber with the steady hands was about to perform surgery. He started by carving a line so sharp you could measure planets with it. He then used a shaver to create a bald foundation, making the initial line look like an impossible cliff to climb. Most people would panic seeing such a harsh line on their head, but they didn't have this master barber in their corner. But what he did next will blow your mind. The steady-handed barber began his magic, flicking his wrist with the clippers like a magician waving a wand. He moved through his guards with surgical precision, erasing the line piece by piece. The blend started to appear from nothing, seamlessly transitioning from skin to hair with absolutely no flaws. He didn't just give this man a haircut, he gave him a masterpiece that looked like it was airbrushed on. The final result is one of the cleanest fades you will ever see. This client didn't just ask for a haircut, this man wanted a whole-ass work of art, so this master barber grabbed the clippers and got straight to business, no hesitation, just laying down some of the cleanest damn guidelines you've ever seen. This ain't your average fade, this is some next-level geometry shit. Then the blending begins. Watch how this master barber starts erasing those lines like they were never even there. Every single pass is deliberate, carving out a gradient so smooth it looks like an airbrush painting. Switching clippers, the master barber moves up, seamlessly connecting the fade to the bulk on top. There's not a single flaw in this whole damn thing, and just when you think it can't get any sharper, the lineup begins. The precision is insane. 2 quick slashes for the accent lines, clean and perfect. Then for the final touch of perfection, the straight razor comes out. The stakes are high as hell with a blade this sharp, but what happened next will shock you. This master barber finishes the skin-tight fade with the shaver, getting it smoother than glass. Every detail is dialed in, from the line work to the perfect blend. This shit is pure dedication. And there it is. Not just a haircut, but a goddamn statement. Clean, sharp, and absolutely flawless. That's what happens when a true artist gets their hands on some clippers. Hell yeah! This jungle barber needs no fancy shop to work his magic. When this client sat down in the middle of nature, he was in for a wild ride. The jungle barber grabbed a simple razor comb and immediately started sculpting a perfect fade, proving that pure skill is all you really need. The barber even carved in a slick design with precision, getting ready for the main event. But this was no ordinary haircut. The jungle barber started mixing a strange potion, then grabbed actual charcoal and crushed it into a black paste. The look on the client's face was pure panic as the barber slathered this homemade dye over his fresh cut and sealed it with foil. But what happened next will shock you. After letting the jungle ingredients work, the barber washed it all out, revealing a deep natural black color. Then with just a razor blade, the barber created the sharpest lineup imaginable, perfecting every angle. For the final touch, the jungle barber used a literal broom to dust him off, unveiling a flawless cut that looked like $1,000,000, a true wilderness masterpiece. So this poor dude let his clumsy-ass wife give him a haircut, and what the hell was he thinking? The clumsy-ass wife didn't even know how to hold the damn clippers and immediately scalped his whole-ass temple. God damn, she took a whole chunk of his hairline clean off. This poor dude had to take over to fix this bullshit. After seeing the goddamn damage, he knew this shit was gonna be rough. He started in the middle trying to create a straight line, but what happened next will shock you. The damage was so damn bad he had to push it way the hell back. He had no choice but to commit to this new 5-head-ass hairline. He meticulously lined up the other side, matching corner to corner until the whole damn thing was straight as an arrow. He turned a complete goddamn disaster into a crispy, clean lineup. That's some serious damage control right there.
A guy sticks his head in the barber shop and asks, "How long before I can get a haircut?" The barber looks around the shop full of customers and says, "About 2 hours." Upon hearing this, the guy leaves. A few days later, the same guy sticks his head in the shop and asks, "How long before I can get a haircut?" The barber looks around the shop full of customers and says, "About 3 hours." Upon hearing this, the guy leaves again without getting the haircut. A week later, the same guy stuck his head in the shop and asks, "How long before I can get a haircut?" The barber looks around the shop and says, "About an hour and a half." Upon hearing this, the guy leaves again. The barber becomes suspicious, so he starts inquiring about this guy. But no one has seen this guy before, so the barber turns to his friend and says, "Hey Bob, do me a favor, follow him and see where he goes. He keeps asking how long he has to wait for a haircut, but he never comes back." A little while later, Bob returns to the shop. The barber asks, "So, where does he go when he leaves?" He says, "Your house."
Oh, this guy with no hair comes to the rooftop wanting some braids, and the braider is looking around confused, thinking it's a prank. The braider is about to pack up until this guy with no hair takes off his hat. What was hiding under there wasn't just hair, it was an entire ecosystem that could block out the sun. The braider knew this was a challenge sent from the heavens. Trying to make a part in that hair was like trying to draw a straight line during an earthquake. Every comb the braider used nearly snapped in half, fighting against a tangle